Alright, so in the last video we created our transparent nav bar and the background here and the header, okay, or the header with the background image. Now we're going to go underneath the header and we're going to put in our icon boxes. So let's say section icon boxes, and we're going to do a section with the class of section and then a custom class of section icons. So this should look pretty familiar. You see a lot of websites with this, with the 3 or 4 icon boxes, because it looks really nice and clean. And it also allows you to specify features or whatever you want to convey to the viewer. So let's do a row, and we're going to have 3 4-column medium rows, or columns I should say, or divs. So say call S12 and then medium 4, and we also want to center. Actually, we'll do the center up above. Yeah, we'll put the center here like that. Alright, and inside here let's do a card panel, and I'm going to put an icon. So I'm going to use Font Awesome. I'm going to do i.fa, so class of FA, and then a class of FA-user, and then we're going to do 3 times. We want to make this bigger, so FA-3x, we'll make it bigger. We're also going to give them a color of deep-purple, and then deep purple text, since it's an icon, and then let's also do text darken-2, so very specific color. Okay, so that's our icon. If I save it, you'll see it here. So underneath that icon, I'm going to put an H5, and I'm going to give it a class of gray text, and I'm going to do a text darken. Let's do text darken 4, and let's say free account. Okay, so that's our H5, and then our paragraph will just be 10 dummy text words. So if I save that, it should look like that. Okay, so now what we'll do is copy the column, which is this right here, this div. So we want to grab that, and we're just going to bring that down 2 more times. And the second one here, we're going to change the icon. Let's see, the icon from FA user to FA database. And then the H5, we're going to say no SQL databases. And then this last one here, we're going to change the icon to FA-bolt, and we're going to change the H5 to fast connections. Okay, so save that, and there we go. So pretty easy. Now underneath that, we're going to have our about section. So let's go and put a comment here. You don't have to do all the comments, but I figure it helps out people so you know exactly what goes where. So let's say section, and then we'll do a class of section about. Alright, I also want to add a class of gray to give it a gray background, and then let's do lighten-4. Okay, so that way it's a different color than the white here, so it doesn't look like one big section. You can actually tell the difference. Alright, let's do a container, and inside the container we'll put a row, and then we're going to have basically 2 6-column divs on medium screens and up. So call S12 M6. On this side, we're going to have basically some text. So I'm going to have an H3. We're going to say about us, but for the word about, I'm actually going to make it purple. So I'm going to put a span with the class of, let's do deep-purple-text, and we'll do text darken-1. Alright, so that's span, and then that ending span needs to go on the other side of the about. like that. So about us, and then underneath that we'll put a paragraph with the class of flow text, and let's do lorem 20, so we'll have 20 words. And then we need another column after this one. So this column right here ends at this div, so we want to go underneath and do another column S12 M6, and then our image will go here, so it'll be an image, and it's going to be in our image folder, and it's called tech.jpg. And then I also want to add a class of circle and also responsive -img, so it stays in its container. So let's save that and take a look, and there we go. There's our about section. So next we're going to do the for developers by developers section, and it will have a background image with a purple overlay. Alright, so let's do section developers, and we'll say section. Actually, you know what? I don't want to add. Oh wait, never mind. Forget I said that. We're going to do section -developers. That's our custom class, and I want it to have white text. Okay, so in here we're going to actually do our overlay. So we're going to have a class called primary-overlay. And if you took my Bootstrap course with 5 projects, you might see some similarities with this stuff. We did the same kind of overlays. We want to do the overlay. We want to do text white, or actually, no, we don't need to do that. But you know what? Let's align it to the middle vertically. So we can use a class called v-align-wrapper. Alright, and then in here we'll put our container, and in the container we'll put our row, and in the row we'll put our column. So col S12, and also let's just leave S12 and then do center. Okay, because it's going to go all the way across no matter what the screen size. And then it's simply going to be an H3 that says for developers by developers. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds cool. So let's save, and if we look, it's just all white right now. We need to add our overlay and our background image, so we're going to do that within the CSS. Let's first do the image. So we want section developers, and we're going to position this relative, because the overlay is going to be positioned absolute, and an absolute positioned element needs to be inside a relative element. Okay, and then let's set the background to URL. We want to go // into the images folder, and then we want the image called code.jpg. Alright, we're also going to add the background size, which will be cover, and then we're going to add the background position, which will be center. And let's also do a border top. Okay, I'm just going to do a dark gray border top of solid and 5 pixels just to kind of separate it. And then let's also do a border bottom. So I'm just going to copy that down and change that to border bottom. And then the last thing I want to do is just add a minimum height of 180 pixels. Alright, so that's our developers. Let's save that, and now you can see we have the text over the image, but you can't really see the text because the image is so prominent. So that's why the overlay comes in. So now what we're going to do is the primary overlay, and I'm going to put that up at the top because it's kind of a general class. We're going to use it in other places. So we'll say overlay. Alright, and then for this we're going to add a background. Now when you want to have a background color with an opacity, meaning having it be transparent, you want to use RGBA, so red, green, blue, alpha, which is an opacity level basically. So we're going to say 112 by 81 by 176, that's the color, and then for the opacity I'm going to do 0.7 by default. Okay, then we want to do a position absolute, and then we want to say start at the top 0 and the left 0. Okay, so basically start in the corner, and then we're going to give it a width of 100% so it covers the entire thing, at least width-wise, and then do the same height-wise, so 100% as well. And then we want overflow hidden because we don't want any scroll bars or anything showing up. So let's save that, and now you can see we have an overlay, a purple overlay. So the last thing I want to do in this video is the languages area where we have all the different logos. So let's add that. So we'll call this section languages, and let's do language, and then let's give it a gray background, but let's lighten it. So we'll do lighten 4. Okay, and then we'll do a container. This should be a pretty easy one. We'll do a row, and let's see, we're gonna do an H4 here, and we'll say work with, we'll say work with, and then we'll do a span with the class of deep dash purple dash text. Let's also text darken 1, and then in here we'll say any language. Okay, so work with any language. Let's also center. And then we'll go under that H4. Let's put a couple line breaks, and then we're going to put a row, and basically we want 2 column rows. Okay, so because we're going to have 6 icons, so it's a 12 column grid, so we want 2 each for the 6. So div of call S2, and then let's put an image in here. This first one will be Python, so we'll do image slash Python dash logo dot PNG. Okay, we also want to give these classes of responsive dash IMG, and then what I'll do is copy that column. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll just go ahead and change this one to Ruby. We'll change this one to PHP. And then we'll do Node. And this one C#, C-sharp, and then Java. Okay, let's save it and take a look. And there we go, work with any language. And we shouldn't have to edit anything in the CSS for that part, so that looks good. Alright, so in the next video we're going to move on to the other overlay section, the podcast section, and then we'll do the carousel slider, and hopefully we can finish up the home page in the next video.